In this video, I will be discussing my honest thoughts on the practices of Armstrong Powerhouse. I know that this won't go down well with everyone, but I'm not going to let that stop me from saying what I feel needs to be said. For context, Armchair Power Sausage is a developer for Train Simulator Classic who started out in around 2008. And they've become well known for what I used to think was consistent attention to detail and high quality products, but things have been going downhill over the last 4 years or so. Their introductory lines on their websites almost seem like a direct contradiction of some of their more recent products, like the Class 455 enhancement packs. For some reason, they made a sky/weather enhancement pack around 4 or 5 years ago, and then went on to release an, apparently, big update for it earlier in 2023. I always thought that this pack was unnecessary, and now they've announced a cloud enhancement pack. Yes, you heard that right, a cloud enhancement pack. I genuinely thought this was a delayed April Fool's joke, and in the words of Brett Cooper, this doesn't even offend me. It's just like, why does this exist? And as if AP being serious about it wasn't bad enough, they turned off the comments on their latest Facebook posts, so no one can leave feedback regardless of whether it's positive or negative. Even though they did make a post explaining this decision, I still don't understand why they did it. AP's packs used to be pretty good quality overall, especially that Class 40 they made with Railrite. And I will admit that I've got a sizable amount of their add-ons, but now they have lost a customer in me. The rot started a few years back, when I saw AP's questionable practices being discussed in the Train Sim news show, and since then I've had a reality check. Their add-ons have been getting more and more expensive over the last 6 or 7 years, to the point where I can't justify spending that much money anymore. I mean, just look at the price of the updated Sky and Weather Enhancement Pack. £25, or around 51 New Zealand dollars, is very steep for weather improvements. And I doubt I'm the only one who thinks that way. And just when I thought £25 for the locomotive packs was crossing the line. Meanwhile, the enhancement pack pricing is no better. The multiple unit EPs cost between £12 and £20 for improvements to an existing model rather than an entirely new model like the Class 411 Force SEP. A lot of those EPs, such as the Class 350, 377, 455, 700 and 800 packs, still have noteworthy inaccuracies left in place. Examples include the Southwest Trains branded labels in the cab of what's supposed to be a 350, because this EP was actually built on a Class 450 model, as well as a data panel for a 377/2 still being visible on what is supposed to be later generation Electrostars. The refurbished Southern 455/8 cab interior model used across all variants of the Class 455, as well as the unaltered interior for the imitation Class 707, which is clearly just a shortened and repainted 700. They don't put as much effort into all aspects of their packs as they used to, which makes the high prices even more questionable. Speaking of which, the Class 158/159 EP now costs £20 instead of the original £17. At the time of uploading, £20 is equal to roughly 41 New Zealand dollars. Again, that is just for improvements built on an existing model, and the existing model is not free of charge. For some reason, they've discontinued a lot of their older packs, even the aforementioned Class 40. You can't even get any of their locomotive sound packs anymore, such as those for the Class 20 Chopper, Class 52 Western, and Class 55 Deltic. And speaking of which, that Deltic model dates back to the days of Kuju Rail Simulator in 2007. These days, there is only one multiple unit sound pack left on AP's website, and that's the one for the Class 390, although the updated Virgin Trains model that Dovetail made is now discontinued. Some of their sound packs, like the one they made for the Class 303, were actually very good, and I would have thought these older sound packs were going to be replaced by enhancement packs, but a lot of them still haven't. I find it a bit strange that the Class 86 only got an enhancement pack, and don't even get me started on its lack of the pre-tops variants, while the Class 87 got an entirely new locomotive pack. There used to be a sound pack that catered for both the 86 and 87, and it only cost £5. Another sound pack that is unfortunately now gone is the Class 37 Merleys pack, and AP did not include a Merleys fitted version of the Class 37 with their proper 37 packs. They haven't made a locomotive or multiple units pack in a fair while, and I can't even remember what the last one was. Their two latest packs are focused on signals and the sky and weather, two packs that, in my opinion, are completely unnecessary. I still can't believe that they're serious about the Cloud Enhancement pack. Why did they think that was a good idea? Especially when there's plenty of rolling stock that's overdue for an enhancement pack. Examples include the Class 47, Class 55 Deltic, Class 153 Sprinter, Class 395 Javelin, Class 421 Force Sig, the Class 442 Wessex Electrics, and plenty of other motive power that I can't remember. Credit where it's due, I still like their Class 37, 150/2, and 205 Thumper packs, but I don't see why the 37 pack should have been split into two volumes. The same goes for the Class 455 and 465 EPs. I also think their Wherry Lines route is alright, because of the charming scenery and relaxed operating environment. But I just wish that the route also included the Norwich to Sheringham and Lowestoft to Ipswich lines. That way, you wouldn't feel so restricted on where you can go and what you can do. For reference, the Wherry Lines is the mini network from Norwich to Great Yarmouth and Lowestoft, a total length of only 44.1 miles. But the route costs an alarming £30, or roughly 62 New Zealand dollars. As if that wasn't expensive enough, it also requires 3 other route add-ons, which have a high combined price as well. And then there's the cost of all the required motive power for the scenarios, which means it's all quite expensive for a relatively small route. Now I get a sour taste in my mouth whenever I run an AP product in Train Simulator. The same goes for locomotives and multiple units in TSW that use AP sounds. I think the current situation is the result of years of unwavering praise from the fanboys, and I don't think AP has a particularly good reputation anymore. But as much as I dislike their business practices, I will not harass or defame these developers because that would be reprehensible, and I hope you lots refrain from those actions as well. I've generally been out of the loop on what's going on with Train Simulator Classic these days, as I prefer to play Train Sim World 3 instead. But from what I gather, it doesn't sound particularly good for either game, and I don't blame you if you've given up on both of them. As for me, I'll keep riding the dodgy wave for as long as possible.